the 50 states, which one has the most rigorous training requirements for private security officers? We're talking primarily contract security officers, and we're talking specifically unarmed private security officers. Okay, so with that said, I think the answer is going to surprise you. It did me. Let's roll the tape. Number one for the longest security training requirement is the state of Florida, which is unusual, at least in my mind's eye, because I don't think of Florida as being a particularly heavily regulated state. However, it does come in at number one with 42 hours of required training to achieve a Class D security license. And it should be noted that the curriculum is standardized statewide and must be delivered by licensed instructors. And this is not uncommon at all when you start reviewing the various states, that they have a standardized curriculum and the instructors have to be qualified and vetted. Our number two state is California, which comes in at 40 hours of required training. And this includes 8 hours on the power of arrest. And in addition, there's 32 hours of additional training. And because I equate California with a somewhat regulated environment, unlike Florida, I think you can expect strong enforcement, audits, and compliance expectations. California's system is famous for its structure and accountability. Even though it's slightly below Florida in length of hours, its regulatory culture is arguably tougher. Hey, before we continue, just a quick word. If you're interested in the professionalization of private security, or if you're dedicated to a successful career as a private protection professional, please subscribe. You'd be doing us both a favor. Now, on with the show. Okay, so now let's look at the other side of the coin and look at states that have less than challenging guard registration, guard training requirements. Let's go. Okay, so here we have Georgia, which requires absolutely zero hours of instruction for an unarmed security license. Georgia does not license unarmed security guards at all. Training is entirely employer determined. Georgia is the closest example of a hands-off regulatory model. Now let's compare that with Colorado. Again, 0 hours are required for statewide licensing. But you need to understand some cities in Denver, for example Denver and Colorado Springs and so forth, impose local requirements. But as far as it goes with statewide requirements, there are none. So Colorado is a patchwork, strict in some cities, but non-existent at the state level. Important to realize that. And so likewise, as with Georgia, we have the same theme running here with Idaho. 0 hours required, and it's pretty much up to the employers of the guards, to determine what needs to be trained or what needs to be mastered before assuming post. Okay, so here we have two more states, Kansas and Mississippi, that require no training hours for unarmed security guards. I feel like we're starting to beat a dead horse here, so freeze the screen here if you have any questions about these two states. But otherwise, let's talk about a little bit about why this video is important. So, as you can see, the private security industry, and specifically the contract guard industry, is highly dispersed and decentralized in the United States. As a protection professional, you are expected to understand the so-called big picture. For example, what would be the benefits of having a basic training curriculum nationwide for armed and unarmed security guards? Let's look at it. Okay, so benefit number one, consistent minimum competency across all 50 states. For example, a national baseline would ensure every unarmed officer, regardless of geography, meets a shared standard of knowledge and skill. This eliminates the current situation where an officer in Florida receives 40 or more hours of training, while an officer in Georgia or Kansas may receive 0. And so here's a second potential idea: reduce liability for clients, employers, and insurers. Inconsistent training is a major driver of civil liability. A national baseline reduces risk by ensuring officers understand legal boundaries, officers are trained in de-escalation techniques, Officers know how to avoid negligent situations or actions, and employers can demonstrate due diligence. Finally, insurance carriers already push for standardized training. A national baseline aligns with that pressure. This third one hits close to me: professionalization and improved public perception. A unified curriculum signals private security is a regulated public safety profession and not just a low-skill job. This elevates officer confidence, public trust, employer expectations, and recruitment quality. It moves the industry closer to the European model, where national standards create legitimacy and prestige. And so here's another idea. Number 4 deals with workplace mobility and career pathways. A national baseline allows officers to move between states without retraining from, I guess that's supposed to be scratch, or dropping to 0-hour states. This supports career progression, standardized credentials, national employers with multi-state operations, and of course, better retention. It also makes the job more attractive to new entrants who want a portable credential. And finally, here we are at number 5, stronger alignment with law enforcement and emergency services. Think about it. Police departments, fire services, and EMS operate under national or nationally influenced standards. Private security does not. Yet guards often interact with these agencies on a daily basis. A national baseline for security would standardize communication protocols, improve incident coordination, reduce friction between private and public responders, ensure guards understand legal expectations during emergencies. This strengthens the entire public safety ecosystem. I think that's fair enough to say. Okay, guys, there you have it. Short and sweet, to the point. Just remember, high speed, low drag. See you next time. Bye-bye.